Parker, at the end of 2019, Salesforce shared their forward look at the decade ahead, which included the following three highlights. Companies will compete on the experience they provide customers, not just the products they provide. AI tools, increasingly widespread in every business, will challenge employees to learn new skills and then empower them to deliver entirely new levels of customer experience. And a new role for business and society will crystallize as employees hold companies accountable for the impact they have on broader society, and customers demand a new model of capitalism that benefits both shareholders and stakeholders. Have these visions of the future changed? Are there a few other threads you would weave into the tapestry of the future?
Well, let me start with the last, which is, ever since we started the company, have always felt that, the business of business is making the world a better place. It's not just about building a successful business. It's not about just, building equity value in your corporation. And that started when we started the company. We created a nonprofit as part of Salesforce day one. And it was about giving back 1% of our time, 1% of our profits, and 1% of our equity out to people who needed it, to other nonprofits. And we've done so much good, and it's actually been baked into our culture, this idea of giving back and philanthropy. And I think, it resonates, I'm sure, with every student who's listening. This generation of all generations sees that as hugely important. It's helped us attract great talent. It's helped us attract the right customers and partners. And so have things changed in that? It certainly hasn't changed for Salesforce. We continue to hold that value, that it is hugely important. What has been surprising to us through this crisis is not every company shares that value. And you take the example when I was talking about trying to get PPE to places that need it, and Salesforce somehow got involved and became a logistics company for a short time. There were other companies and other CEOs of major corporations that were not as willing to jump in and help, and were more worried about protecting their own businesses. They even were looking for help in their own communities from Salesforce, ironically. And that was very telling to us. It's just surprising that it's short-sighted, frankly, that these other companies haven't shared that value. They haven't internalized it, the value of giving back, the value of philanthropy, taking care of communities. And we believe it's really part of our growth. So selfishly, the act of giving back comes back to you tenfold and makes you hugely successful. So I wouldn't say things have changed, but it was a realization during this crisis that things haven't changed as fast as we had hoped. We're big participants in Davos at the World Economic Forum. That's definitely one of the main focuses at that conference. It's about how can business impact positive change in the world, and when you go there, you hear it, but in practice, we didn't see it as much. The other point you made about it's about the quality of the services that you provide, not the products. We've always thought that we are focused on customer success. Every company would tell you that, but what makes us grow and makes us successful is we're dedicated to the success of our customers to a fault. I remember early on, Mark would put us on accounts that were very small, where if we put all the work we needed to do to make them successful, we might not be making money on that one account, but we would ask that customer to be a reference and to speak for us and help us with our marketing and help us grow. And it's kind of like the comment on philanthropy. It comes back and helps you longer term. So I think it's all the more important right now in this crisis that we continue to provide our services and our products, but we're listening to our customers, and we're not telling our customers why they need a product. We're asking them, how can we help them? And by the way, we have products that we can bring to bear that can help that. The example of, an offering we call work.com, getting, how does a company get back to work? That's a key need right now. Companies are like, well, how do we get our organization back to work in the right way, in a safe way? So, I think it's just become even more important. We're talking to our customers, and they're like we are right now, working from home. We're talking to them in their living rooms. It's very informal. It's very personal. And, it's all the more important that, it's about the relationship, and it's about supporting your customers. And then finally, your point about AI and the future, we have seen this coming. You hear it from a lot of pundits in the world that artificial intelligence, whether it's machine learning, deep learning, has finally become a reality, and the technology or the algorithms have been around for decades. It's just that we've reached this point where the amount of data available to train these algorithms and the amount of computational power that we have combined together to make it possible to have machines or computers do some really smart things. They're not, taking over the world. We're not going to have the singularity where AI, takes everything over. I mean, other people will maybe argue with me on that. We see AI as a thing that, like, how can it help you do your job better? It's another tool. How can it help you, for example, in our business? We're about helping our customers market, sell, and service, do commerce with their customers. So if you're marketing, how do you make sure that when you are telling a customer, hey, we think you might like this, that it's relevant? How many of you have received something like spam, don't want to read it, or you get a message on your screen, you're like, that's weird, and it doesn't mean anything to me. You go to Amazon.com and it says, oh, well, you might also like this product. Like, actually, I might like that. Or you're listening to Spotify and it says, here's a custom playlist for you. We think you'll like this music. That's the power of AI, and it's a good feeling. It's like, yeah, I love that song. Yes, I, bought this vacuum cleaner, and oh, I do want this other product actually. And so I think that we're just at the beginning innings on AI. And I believe that, we've seen, and Salesforce has been the benefactor of this, that the internet has changed so much in the world. But I believe that AI is going to have an even greater impact.